everybody, and welcome to it's kind of a brand new episode. It's not for us, but we'll get to that. Of Dan and Frankie Go to Hollywood, where today we are going to be discussing 1995's movie Mallrats, which is continuing our Askewniverse series, where we will be discussing the films of Mr. Kevin Smith. And speaking of people's names, my name is Dan.
And I'm Frankie.
That wasn't bad. And we are coming to you in glorious HD for all of you people who watch us on YouTube because we've discovered the HD button on Zoom.
Yeah, I also have
So
a new camera, so
I
I'm getting
know.
used to, I've swapped things and whatever to get everything set up, so it's weird.
And
And
you've
yeah,
never looked
we
better.
also recorded a few episodes that are going to come out after this one, so it's gonna
Yeah, yeah. So
swap around a bit
yeah,
before.
you're gonna be
But
if you
eventually we'll be looking pretty good.
oh yeah, yeah, like yeah, consistently. So yeah, but no, it's this is just crazy. But anyway, yeah,
Oh.
so fun story. We recorded our Mallrats episode last weekend. Was it last weekend or earlier than that? It was
No,
earlier than that, wasn't it?
no, because we did. Spoiler alert. We already did
Uh-oh.
Chasing Amy, so we're
Yeah.
going back, but we were late, so I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, look, I don't know what's going on, but anyway,
Something 3 weeks ago.
Anyway, I had this really amazing idea to free up space on my hard drive on my computer because I thought, I've got all these Dan and Frankie episodes that have, been like finalized, edited, rendered, and but they're out in the world. I don't need them on my hard drive anymore. So I went through and just deleted a ton of old stuff. And then, of course, I am aware that, even if things are in your recycle bin, they're still taking up hard drive space. So I went the extra step and emptied my recycle bin. Um, yeah, kind of didn't think that in amongst the so-called old episodes was Mallrats. Yeah, so I kind of deleted it, which my heart absolutely sank. I then remembered that even if you delete things, they can still sometimes be there. So on Friday, when the episode was due, I hit up ChatGPT. I asked it for advice. It gave me three different programs to use to try and find lost files and everything. I spent hours on Friday while I was working. Hopefully, my boss isn't listening to this episode. Yeah, trying to find this damn file. And yeah, and ChatGPT was so supportive. It's like, don't worry, we're gonna find this thing. Like, hang in there. I believe in us, and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, oh my God, wow, I genuinely believe we're gonna find this thing. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't think it's there, and we're gonna re-record it. And then chat's like, oh look, it's fine. Just think like the next time you record, it's gonna be even better. I'm like, oh my God, this is like the most encouraging robot ever.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah, so here
sweet.
we are. We're doing it again, but enough time has passed that I don't remember what the hell we said. So yeah, it's still gonna sound fresh. It's not gonna be like, oh no, I did say that. I'll have to remember to put that in there or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, so
Hmm.
yeah, how you doing after all that?
Pretty good. We're recording later than
Mm,
usual, so it's warmed up a bit, which is nice.
and I'm not as
Um,
tired.
yeah, also
Mm,
good.
yeah. Woohoo.
And I also found us a new game to play.
Is it Connect 4? Please tell me it's Connect 4. Is it Connect
It's
4?
it is not Connect 4, which would
Oh,
be very
man.
boring for a podcast.
It would be, wouldn't it? Yeah.
You just hear the noises, just of the things dropping.
For like an hour.
Oh God, could
Yeah.
not play that game for an hour. That's
Oh,
too
what?
much.
Ah, you
Oh.
used to be fun. Well, tell us what is this? What is this amazing game that you've got
Okay,
now?
this is just a fun little
Hmm.
thought exercise for us.
Mm.
Basically, I will give you two movies,
Oh,
and
okay.
you pick which one you think is best
Hmm.
on a personal level, not
Yeah.
best made
So
or
favorite.
whatever. Yeah, favorite pretty much.
Hmm.
We were gonna make it like I thought, oh, maybe we could do it the loser you can never watch again. So you have to
Mm.
pick if you could only watch one, which one would you pick? But I don't know if that makes it too hard.
Mm.
potentially, depending on what the two movies are. I don't
Well, it
know.
is a
What do you
fantasy
think?
scenario though, so I reckon go for it. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
you
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
never watch the one you don't
Let's
pick.
go all the way with
Ooh.
this one because look,
Okay.
in reality, I know I will be able to watch it, but yeah, I'm playing
Yeah.
the role of someone who will never be able to watch it again.
Which
So
also means you have to factor in like rewatchability and stuff on your
yes,
winner because you could
exactly.
say, well, this film is really well made,
Mm,
but it's super bleak, so I wouldn't
mm,
want to watch it over and over compared to the
yep.
other one. So there's a
So
bit of
yeah,
thinking. But
I
yeah,
reckon we
you
do it that
pick your
way.
film and then the winning film goes up against another film,
Hmm.
and we'll just do a few rounds and see which one is the overall winner.
Sounds good. All right. Who's going first?
I'll go first because I'm
Alrighty.
excited. Okay, your first two movies to pick between are
Mm,
Batman Forever
hmm.
and Point Break.
Oh shit. Uh, oh,
This is
I
starting you off easy, I thought.
no, that's not easy because like I know Batman Forever, like it has its flaws.
I
But I've
love
got
it.
so much nostalgia
Mm.
riding on that movie. I mean, this was a movie that a bunch of friends and I we got dressed up in costumes to go see it on the opening night and stuff, like for no reason whatsoever. Um but Point Break, yeah, I'm gonna go with Point Break on this one because yeah, like oh, Jim Carrey's Riddler is so good. No, no, no. Okay, okay. I'm going Point Break. I could probably rewatch that one more. So
Okay.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Um, Point Break or Borat?
Oh fuck.
Which I haven't seen, so I just threw
You
that
know
in. I
what?
saw you
This is
gave it a
so
higher
weird.
rating.
I was just thinking about Borat last night and thinking to myself, man, I really need to watch that movie again soon because it's so extremely clever. Okay, but I've got to factor in like Borat is hilariously funny. But does it have that? I don't think it ha quite has the rewatchability of Point Break, so I'm still going to pick Point Break on this one.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't think I was that big a Point Break fan, but here we are.
Point Break
Mhm.
or Bullet Train?
Oh, oof. Oh man, this is really tough.
See,
Because
fun game.
Bullet Train, I loved so immensely. See, now I'm riding on the nostalgia of Point Break because it's such a beloved film. Um, oh, Bullet Train was just so entertaining though. Um, oh, but you know what? The nostalgia is yeah. Can you believe this? I'm actually picking Point Break again over Bullet Train.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know.
Well, this is probably going to be hard for you then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't like this game.
pulling on your nostalgia strings
I don't
again.
like it. This is no.
Don't worry, you'll have payback when it's my turn, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um, Point Break or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh, come on. Bill and Ted. No, it's yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The
I'm
love that I have for that film is just it
okay.
runs deep, like
Okay,
really deep.
this next one may be easy, super
Okay.
easy for you then.
Hmm.
Bill and Ted or Road Trip?
Oh, Bill and Ted. Yeah. Road Trip was a fun movie, but it's disposable. Yeah.
Okay, Bill and Ted or Dinner in America?
Oh my God. Dinner in America, which of course we just recently did an episode on if anyone wants to go and check that out. Yeah, wow.
Oh, I thought that was your answer when you said that.
No, 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 no. I'm still gonna go with Bill and Ted. Mm,
Okay, Bill and Ted or La La Land?
you cruel bitch. What?
I told you I had some escalation.
Okay, this is how much I love La La Land. I'm actually picking that over Bill and Ted
Oh.
because La La Land made me really feel something, like a lot of feelings. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of movies that make me feel things, and so yeah, La La Land. Yep.
Okay, La
Hmm.
La Land or True Romance?
Fuck it. Nah, I'm done. That's it. I'm not playing this game anymore. Um, oh my God. True Romance. Because yeah, I just had this whole thing like, oh, movies that make me feel something, but um, True Romance
Well,
is
True
just so.
Romance, I was a little high on it after watching it, but I
Mm,
did write down it was one of the best romances of all time on movie screen.
well, yeah,
So,
there is that, but it is just such a cool movie. Like in terms of rewatchability, like yeah, if we're going with that, then yeah, True Romance. Yep.
okay, True Romance or Guardians of the Galaxy?
Oh, fuck off. Well, I'm going to go Guardians on this one because that is a movie that really makes me feel something, but it is also highly entertaining and super cool. So that's kind of a mixed bag of a lot of things. So, yeah, Guardians.
Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy or Birds of Prey?
Oh my God. Oh, you mean Birds of Prey, the movie that I saw 12 times in cinemas. Um, oh, God. Actually, oh man. All right, this is gonna probably shock a few people, but I'm gonna pick Guardians on this one
Wow.
because as much as Birds of Prey was a super fun time at the movies, and I mean, yeah, I just love that movie so much. It is kind of shallow, like yeah. So yeah, no, I'm gonna go Guardians
Mm.
on that one.
All right. I was kind of hoping I'd have a really fun finish having these two movies next to each other because of their names, but then you picked
Mm.
the other movie, so I don't have that anymore.
Oh
Guardians
no.
of the Galaxy
Yep.
or Deadly Prey.
Yeah. Oh man, Deadly Prey, the movie that I've probably seen at least 30 times. Yeah. Um oh, this is so difficult because okay, so I've got to keep in mind one of them I can never watch again. Um but there's no rule as to how many times we have to watch the movie that we pick, is there? Like it's just we
No,
just get to
it's
keep that
just that
one.
the other one is gone.
Yeah. Uh, oh my God, I so want to say Deadly Prey, but I've got to think, am I making like I'm getting rid of Guardians of the Galaxy? I will never be able to watch that again, but I can't live in a world where I'd never be able to watch Deadly Prey again. So I'm going with the Prey.
Mm. I did think you would pick that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
whatever got to the end.
Hmm.
I felt like you would probably pick Deadly Prey. That's why I saved it till the
I
end
just
because I was
can't
like, I want to see
live in
it.
a world where that movie doesn't exist. I mean, yeah, wow. All right. So that was the end of that one for me, was it?
Yes, round
Okay.
one complete.
Cool, cool, cool. Sorry,
Because we might bring this back because it
how
was fun.
many tiers was that?
It was the two starters and
Yep.
then 10 films.
10 films. Okay, I've got to keep that in mind because yeah, look, I'm not saying that I'm making this up as I go along, but I'm making this up as I go along. All right. All right, I'm starting with a fairly easy one for you, okay? Because,
Well, I
just want
thought
to
mine was easy, but
know. Um, no, okay, I will give you an example of what easy is, okay? So your first two are The Lost Boys or Blood-Sucking Freaks.
oh, come on. That's not even trying.
I know,
Lost
blood-sucking
Boys.
freak. Oh, wait, what? Oh, wow, okay.
This
Surprise.
is me, not you.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, hey, now see, that is an example of making it easy. So,
Well,
yeah,
I thought like I knew you liked both movies, but I thought it would be an easier choice between them, and I thought I was saving the harder ones till later in the list.
nope. Alrighty. Round two. Round two.
And
Fight.
not so easy because now you're putting Lost Boys against everything.
Unless you pick something else, who knows? All right. Lost Boys or The Craft?
Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Much as I
Uh,
love the craft.
okay. Here we go. Round three. The Lost Boys or Last Night in Soho?
Lost Boys.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd never be able
Nostalgia.
to.
I've seen that movie probably more than any, except maybe one in my
Mm.
life. It's so
Okay.
good.
All right.
So
No,
good.
that's cool. That's cool. All right. Speaking of nostalgia, The Lost Boys or Tremors?
Lost Boys.
Oh, hang on. There was hesitation
Yeah,
there.
I know. I thought, is that right? But
You're
yes, Lost
throwing away
Boys.
Bacon's hair.
I know, but there's so much good hair in Lost Boys.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. Um, all right. Now I'm starting to regret throwing Lost Boys into the start of
Yeah.
this. Like that wasn't very well thought out, but that's here we are. Okay, let's make this a little bit trickier. The Lost Boys or Prisoners?
Oh, I love Prisoners so
I know
much.
you. I know how much you love that film. I am aware of this. Uh,
It's one of those ones that I see people say it's like a one and done because it's so bleak, but I
mm,
can just watch that over and over. It's so good.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I have to go Lost Boys.
Okay. All right. This is
It's
this
just
is
so fun and such a good cast and good
mm.
costumes and good music.
All right. Speaking of good cast, good music, not so much costumes, but it doesn't matter. The Lost Boys or Dazed and Confused?
Oh my God.
Mm. Yeah, that's right.
Because they're both the same kinds of movies and that
Mm-hmm.
they're just like fun hangout kind of movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, wow. You can almost hear the cogs turning.
I have a Days Confused poster on the wall that I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, do you have a Lost Boys poster up there? No, you don't.
No, I don't.
No, no. Hmm, hmm, hmm.
But I
Ooh.
have like 5 copies of The Lost Boys on my shelf.
Mm.
Um,
Wow, this one's come the closest so far
I
to
know. It's
yeah.
so hard. And I saw them like, in my teen years, so they have
Mm.
nostalgia to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Yeah.
like,
Which
Lost
movie is
Boys.
wow, okay, fair enough. All right. What's that? One, two, three, four, five movies have not even come close. Well, okay, one came close, but all right, next one. Lost Boys or Labyrinth?
Lost Boys. I do
What?
love Labyrinth, but it's not on that level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Gonna yeah, going with one that you had picked for me as well. Lost Boys or Dinner in America?
Lost Boys.
Wow. What's that? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven movies have
I mean, you did
fallen.
start with a movie that I often give as my favorite movie of all time. So,
Yeah, I did, and
hmm.
now I am deeply regretting my decision. Yep, like I said, did not think this through. All right, here we go. Lost Boys or Empire Records?
Oh, another hangout movie I saw in my teens
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with multiple
Actually,
actor crushes.
I do
But
have a one that might dethrone it at the end. Oh, actually, a couple. Hang on. Okay.
Lost Boys.
Okay, Empire Records, you are never going to watch again. All right, we got two more. Here we
Some
go.
of those other movies, if you like had them all separately, it would have been more difficult. But having them all one by
Hmm.
one against the Lost Boys, it made it a
Yeah.
bit easier.
Oh, yeah. No, like I said, I did not think this through. But anyway, here we go. Lost Boys or Hot Rod?
Lost Boys.
Hang on, you
Hmm.
you went rather fast into that one. Like you
Yeah,
didn't.
I love Hot Rod. It's
Well, I
so
know
good, but it's not
you are Team
like,
Rod. You've got the shirt.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know. Weird Bill Hader crush and all.
You'd
Like,
never be able
although
to watch
Lost
it
Boys
again,
has Kiefer
ever.
Sutherland. Yeah, but Lost Boys.
Oh, wow. All right. Last one. Here we go. And ah, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out, but anyway, we'll see. All right. Lost Boys versus Encino Man. Yeah, I went there.
Oh,
I went there. I was not
that other
afraid.
movie. They're the two movies I've probably watched. Well,
Yeah,
they are
that's
the two
why
movies
I've
I've watched most of my life.
picked this one last because
And they both have full-on nostalgia of their time.
exactly.
Um, it's almost the
Pauly
80s versus
Shore's
90s.
flares, his mesh shirts,
I fucking love Pauly Shore in that movie.
Wizened to
I
Juice. He's a unique weasel.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. This is
that's the one I rented from the video store because of the cover and then
hmm
watched it every day for the week that I had it.
Still looking for the scene where he's on a skateboard because the cover's got Link on a skateboard, but like he wasn't. So, false advertising.
Except
Uh,
also in New Zealand it was California Man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Ridiculous.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so one of these movies you will never be able to watch ever again. Are we going with
I'm glad this is not real.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Are we going with a takeaway container full of maggots or are we going with Radmobile?
Oh, see, both movies have crushes, both movies have cool
Hmm.
hair, both movies have cool clothes.
See, I did manage to pick out something good for the final round.
You did.
I did, yeah.
Um,
And no one knows which way you're going to go right now because, yeah,
I don't know either.
yeah, exactly.
I think
Hmm. Vampires or cavemen?
uh, vampires, the Coreys,
Hmm.
better soundtrack.
Ooh, is it though?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's debatable because the Encino Man soundtrack was amazing.
Yeah, but I can't really think of the songs on it apart from the
Oh
one
God,
they
I
do the
can.
dance to at the end.
Mainly because I had the CD soundtrack and I used to listen to it like so often, like all day, every day.
I don't think I've ever even seen it anywhere
Oh wow.
to purchase it.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go. I have it in my CD collection. And for all you kids out there, a CD is a yeah, no, never mind. Uh,
Yeah, well, I've got the Lost Boys and I've got Dazed
hmm.
and Confused
All right. Well, listen, we got to get
and The
into Mallrats,
Craft.
so you're gonna have
Yeah.
to come up with something. What's it gonna be? Lost Boys and See No Man?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lost Boys.
Wow. All right. So Lost Boys just beat everything. The Craft, Soho, Tremors, Prisoners, Dazed and Confused, Labyrinth, Dinner in America, Empire Records, Hot Rod, and See No Man, but above all, Blood-Sucking Freaks.
Oh,
Amazing.
that was the easy. I think every movie maybe would beat that
Really? Do you reckon that is the worst movie that you've ever seen?
potentially.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I don't know
Hmm.
because I mean, it didn't make me angry like some
Hmm.
movies do,
Hmm.
but it was boring and just had
The
all this like there's just not I don't know, it's almost offensive in how boring and all the yeah, just
Yeah.
there was
Anyway,
nothing
we're
to
not
praise.
we're not here to talk about
Yeah.
blood-sucking freaks, which makes me a little bit sad because I could
We've done that. We're not gonna
talk about
ever
that
do.
movie.
You'll
In
have to
fact,
bring on a guest if you want to do a whole episode on that
no,
movie.
no, no, I'll just do it by myself. Seriously,
Oh yeah, okay.
Kevin Smith just did a hour and a half video on YouTube on the new Superman film. Like he actually talked about this thing for an hour and a half. I reckon I could at least do that for blood-sucking freaks. So
Oh well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But no, we are in fact here to continue our Askewniverse deep dive with Mallrats. And everyone right now who came to listen to hear about Mallrats is like, oh, thank fuck, we're finally there. Um, so yes, following the success of Clerks on the indie movie circuit, was this movie was it Universal? I want to say Universal. Anyway, yeah, they basically gave Kevin Smith $5 million and said, here, go and make a movie that's like, full of all the stuff that made Clerks so good. So yes, this time around, instead of like a low budget black and white movie that you shot on was it six? I think that was on 16 mil. Yeah, this time around it was a big budget movie set in a abandoned mall that was made up to look like a decent mall, and it's got like lots of actors and things that make a movie expensive. So essentially, yeah, you've got two main characters, Brody and TS. At the start of the film, TS gets dumped by his girlfriend Brandy for various reasons, and so Brody also gets dumped by his girlfriend Renee, played by Shannon Doherty. Yeah, so Jake,
And I should just point out this is going to be full of spoilers, especially since you're
yeah, which doesn't
starting
really
off with
matter
the
for a
whole.
movie like this, but
Well,
anyway.
yeah, but just if you don't want to know the play-by-play you're
Yeah,
getting,
yeah, yeah.
then
So Brody played by Jason Lee, TS by Jeremy London, Brandy is Claire Filani. So yeah, Shannon Doherty is Renee, dumps Brody. So the two of them, having just been dumped, basically head to the mall to like, hang out there because that's what people did back in the 90s. And it turns out that Brandy's father, Mr. Svenning, played by the always amazing Michael Rooker, is conducting a like a dating game show that Brandy has volunteered to be part of. And so, yeah, it's basically up to TS to try and win his love, well, both of them to win their loves back. And in the meantime, we've got Jay and Silent Bob along for the ride to try and disrupt the game show in as many ways as they possibly can think of. And amongst all that, there's a lot of things that happen in this movie, isn't there?
Hmm.
Like, yeah. What are some of your favorite little sort of subplots and things that go on in it?
Well, I was gonna say with the opening, when TS gets dumped, like I just found that really funny as
Mm,
the opening because they're like so
mm.
over the top in their acting. And she's talking about the girl that was swimming and just like dropped dead. And
Mm.
then TS is like, she's fucking dead. And I'm just like, what is this? Like it's really a strange opening because he's fine later on, but I don't know why that was such a sort
Mm.
of heightened moment, but it just made me laugh.
I think that comes down to the directing, because I always have this thing where, anytime an actor gives a weird performance or a bad performance or whatever. Like, I never blame the actor because let's face it, it's up to the director to make sure that the performances are the best they can be. And so,
Well, yeah,
if a
but some
director
people
sees a
are
performance
just
like that and then
like,
says, yep, that's the one, like, then yeah, that's totally
well,
on the
I mean, I
director.
guess
So,
it's not like it fits with the tone of the movie and everything going on, but it
mm,
just made me actually laugh how over the top they were with
mm.
their talking, especially considering they were talking about this girl that just dropped dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, like oh my God, like I said, there's so many sub things going on. We've got Ben Affleck as Shannon Hamilton, the proprietor of Fashionable Mail, who's kind of well, one of the antagonists in the film, who's like now kind of dating Renee. Joey Lauren Adams is in it as a character named Gwen, who is basically there just to kind of drive the plot along. Renee Humphrey as Trish the Dish, a 15-year-old schoolgirl who is engaging in sexual acts with guys for a book that she's writing, which
Mm.
yeah, they got away with that back in 1995. Yeah, did that kind of feel creepy to you now, like a little bit?
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
that was weird.
yeah, I mean, had they made her character older, like it still could have worked. I don't know why. Oh, well, no, actually, I do know
Well,
why, of
yeah.
course, like for later on. But yeah, I don't know. That was weird. Um, Ethan Suplee is in this film as another character named Willem, who is trying to see one of those magic eye pictures.
I
Uh,
remember them. I've
oh
been at my
yeah,
local mall and
yeah.
I could never see the pictures.
Oh really?
I never tried as long as he did, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah. I never saw anything in them
Oh,
when I
okay. I
tried.
actually got back into them again not that long ago. I found they were popping up on my Facebook feed. And so I was having fun with those. And because of course, the more you look at things like that, the more it's going to offer you. And so, yeah, I kind of got back into those recently, which was, yeah, kind of crazy. And one of the other really amazing, like sort of cameos, I guess, in this film, is the one and only Stan Lee who, yeah, again is there because Kevin Smith loves comic books, and like why not? If you can get Stan Lee in your film, then you do it. And I do really, really love the fact that with Stan Lee's appearance in Captain Marvel, when she's going along on the train, looking for the bad guy, she passes Stan Lee and he's sitting there with a Mallrats script practicing his lines. So, because of course this Captain Marvel was set, in the sort of around mid 90s or whatever. So, yeah, I thought that was like so super cool. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of the regular Kevin Smith people in this. Scott Mosier, producer, he's back in this as Roddy, Mr. Spenning's assistant. So yeah, there's a lot going on in this film. What are your overall thoughts on it?
Yeah. Oh. I think that Brody is someone that I find the older I get, the more annoying I find him.
Mm,
I know I never was super into him when I first watched it,
hmm
but yeah, I every time I watch it, it's more and more like, why is she with him?
mm,
And why does she get back with him at the end?
yeah.
Like for all the breaking up and that, he didn't seem
Mm.
to have to do very much to
Okay, so
win her
if
back.
you sort of stemming from our opening game that we played, if you had to choose between Brody or Shannon, who incidentally was actually named because at the time Shannon Doherty was married to someone named Hamilton, so her name was actually Shannon Hamilton. So, yeah, there's a fun fact. But if you had to choose, and I'm saying had to choose between one of those two, who would you
Well, I
be with?
mean, well, obviously Brody's not the complete jerk that Shannon is, so
Mm, yeah.
you can't really. I mean, he's
Well,
not
is
that bad.
is Shannon that much of
He's
a jerk?
like,
He introduced Renee to his mother already in the space of a day somehow.
oh, yeah, but the way he was talking about women, like
Hmm. Yeah,
he's got the front of being a nice guy, but he's not.
because
So
the back of a Volkswagen is not your kind of thing. Yeah, no, I understand that. Uh, if you know what I mean. Um, oh, that was another cool appearance was of course Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, who was of
mm,
course Dante. He's back in this one as Gil Hicks, one of the game show contestants. And yeah, freaking how different did he look like
yeah,
without the goatee and with the hair sort of slicked back and everything? Like,
yeah, and
yeah,
ponytail.
yeah. That was kind of crazy. But yeah, I so what's your history with the film? Like, when did you first see this one?
I saw it in the 90s. It was I think it must have been a video store
Hmm.
find. It was definitely the first Kevin Smith movie that I saw.
Right, right.
So yeah, I think maybe it was to do with Shannon Doherty being in it because I was massively into Beverly Hills back in the day.
Hmm.
So I thought she was the best. So it could
Mm.
have been that led me to it, or it could have just been seeing the cover in the video store. I don't remember.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
yeah, definitely instantly liked it. And I
Hmm.
don't know. I know I saw Dogma when it came out at the cinema, but I don't
Mm.
remember if I got to the other films before or after that time.
Right, right.
It's eventually I
Mm.
went, I need to see the other movies that
Mm.
he's done. And I know I did see Clerks and Chasing Amy, but yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't remember the timeline.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I saw Clerks on video as I've discussed in our Clerks episode. And then I remember this movie came out, but it had like a just a limited run of screenings in Brisbane, which was like an hour away. And I at the time, like getting there was a lot more difficult and stuff. And so I did not see this one in the theaters. It wasn't until Chasing Amy that I started seeing his movies in cinemas. But yeah, I saw this on video. But this was one of, back in especially in the 90s, like there was a list of movies that often went missing from video stores. What were some of the other ones? Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but there was just this list of movies, and Mallrats was one of the most stolen videos out at the time. Yeah, it was so hard to find this movie because, of course, back then it was really expensive for stores to replace, tapes that had gone because, yeah, they cost like somewhere around $100 or whatever, to replace them, which is insane. But yeah, no, this was one of the higher, ones on the list of movies that kept getting stolen. Um, so yeah, and yeah, at the time I remember because yeah, at the time like I was just obsessed with Kevin Smith. Like yeah, Clerks, like I've said in the Clerks episode, that movie kind of changed my life. Like it really made me think, wow, I can be a filmmaker too. So, this came along and like at the time I was just like, oh my God, this is such a great movie. Like, the dialogue is so funny and everything's funny and it's Jay and Silent Bob. Ha. Yeah, over time though, I don't know about you, but over time, like, yeah, it's sort of decreased for me. Like I still really enjoy it. It is still a hugely enjoyable film, but it's not a great film in my books. Like, what about you?
Yeah, well, it's never like I never thought it was amazing. It was no
Mm,
like Encino Man find, but
mm,
um yeah, I've just always found it fun.
mm,
It's like it's fun to watch even though, you know, it's not super great, but
mm.
it's a good time while you're watching it. It's one of
It is,
those kind of
yeah.
movies. So,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. But no, I feel like you said, the character of Brody, and incidentally, this movie has so many Jaws references. Like, so Brody Bruce, is named like the character Brody, but if Bruce was the name of the shark. Then you got T.S. Quint, named after Quint, and then of course all the other Jaws stuff that goes on in this movie. Yeah, so you said Brody annoyed you, and like he does annoy me as well because I mean, aside from kind of being a bit of a whiny bitch, like he just is. I don't know. He just seems to me like a very one-note character, and like I think I counted 7 times in the film. He starts off his dialogue with "Holy shit!" Like he says that a lot in this movie. And yeah, I just don't think he was very well written. I don't think many of the characters were all that well written, which I know this is the kind of movie. It's not
Yeah, I was just
freaking
gonna
Gone with the
say
Wind, but
it's the kind of movie that is just sort of about mall hijinks rather
mm,
than characters. Because I mean, we've got the whole thing with TS and Brandy as well.
mm,
Like, you know, that nothing really happens to get them back together.
mm,
So it's like, well, and the
mm.
fact that like he takes over the spot in the game show and she doesn't recognize his voice and he's
Oh
not even
yeah.
trying to disguise
Let's
it.
let's get into that. So, yeah, this movie has so many holes in it. Like I'm talking, there are blocks of Swiss cheese with less holes than this movie. Yeah, not only did she not recognize her own, boyfriend of however long, but yeah, Brody's got a very distinct way of talking and everything, and the fact that she couldn't spot that straight away, which she would
And she
obviously know him
eventually
pretty well.
did. When she eventually did,
Eventually, yeah. Oh, yeah.
she recognized him over her
Yeah,
boyfriend.
yeah, exactly. And also, funnily, if you look in that scene as well, particularly, yeah, when she and TS like really start kind of bickering on, each side of the partition. If you look closely, like the lighting in that scene, you can tell there were reshoots on Brandy because it's this obviously the same chair prop and everything, but like the lighting shifts so distinctly. Like, did you notice that?
I did not.
Okay. Next time you watch this movie, like have a look, like you'll be able to tell. And then eventually when it cuts back to the original shot, like it's really super noticeable. But you know, they did their best. Um
The one thing I thought was fun about that scene is they had the like producers or like whatever the studio guys there to watch
mm,
it. And I did find it fun that, they were kind of against type and that they thought Brody was funny and they were just enjoying it. It wasn't the whole like shut this down straight away kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
thing
love
that
that
you
line
generally get.
when they say to Brody, like, you know, have you ever considered hosting your own, you know, talk show? And he's like, yeah. I love that. Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, the response that you expect, you know, is I'm like, you know, no, not really, but you know, but he's just like, yeah, yeah, like just so matter of factly. I love that. Yeah, but what was I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyway,
Oh, well, I'll just jump back to Ben Affleck. Like this
yes.
possibly is the first movie I saw him in. I don't remember
Hmm.
if I saw this before or after Dazed and Confused.
Hmm.
But I mean, he's so like bland in this
Oh yeah.
in like his style and what he's wearing that I wouldn't have noticed him anyway compared to
Mm.
Dazed and Confused, where he's one of
Hmm.
the standout things in the movie. But yeah, it's funny that he kind of had these bully characters early in his career. I
Mm.
watched a thing recently where he was breaking down characters and he talked about a few movies all together around this time.
Okay.
And it was that kind of characters. That's
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
was being
right.
cast as.
Yeah.
So do you reckon this whole thing with him and Kevin Smith that like they met on this movie and then became friends to do all the future stuff?
I'm pretty sure that was how it went down. I
Because I
could
don't
be
think Ben had done
wrong.
much movie
Hmm.
wise before this, but I don't know if they
Hmm.
somehow met each other before.
I think. I think that this was the start of the Ben and Kevin show. Yeah, I might be wrong. I know the during this film, Kevin Smith and Joey Lauren Adams started dating, which is probably how she got the role in Chasing Amy. No, it's not. She's a great actress. That's how she got the role. Sure. But yeah, I think this is where Ben and Kevin first met. So yeah, I could be wrong though. If you guys know, then fire away in the comments or hit us up on social media or whatever and let us know. But yeah, that's how I think it happened. But anyway, but speaking of Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob. Okay, this. I mean, can you even imagine this movie if they weren't in it? Like it would have been,
Nah.
yeah,
This is
they,
they are the characters that make this movie and
oh,
that are the
totally.
standout and what got me like, oh, I have to see these other films because there's more Jay and Silent Bob.
Which you would have been a bit disappointed with Chasing Amy, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, my goodness. So, and like this was such a level up from Clerks, where they were just kind of like, I don't know, kind of nobody characters in a way. Like, I mean, they had a lot of good moments, but nowhere near the level of this film. Comedians, no? Okay. I got two toddlers in here right now who are running mischief. Speaking of Jay and Silent Bob, um, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, they're being camera shy right now. Um, yeah, so but yeah, then we go into this one where like they were just so iconic, you know, not just in having so much more to do, but just the overall look of them and everything as well. Like I love the costumes on the two of them. Like, you know, Jay just sort of looks like this, you know, metal rock star kind of a thing and Silent Bob has obviously got the whole Batman thing going on, so yeah, that was rather amusing, and like to the point where he's actually got Bat gadgets and everything, and the freaking belt and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, but no, they yeah, absolutely like some of the best scenes in this film were definitely to do with them. So that's fine. And exit the kids. Um, yeah. So yeah. Wow, they're having a great time. Um, yeah.
Yeah, like interacting with the kittens in the pet store.
Yes, yes, yes. Even though it says do not touch the or tap on the glassware, and
Yeah.
Jay's standing there like knocking on it and stuff. Yeah, but I do like as well that, they were so integral to the plot in this film. Like, I mean, let's face it, Clerks could have been, if you chopped them out of the story, it wouldn't have really made that much of a difference.
Yeah, it was a lot of a smaller thing there, so they leveled up to go from
Mm.
outside the shops to a mall.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I don't know about you, but like oh man, it was so funny because back in the mid 90s, like when this movie came out, so the cinema that I was working at, I was working in like the video game arcade, which was just like hands down the single greatest job I've ever had in my life. Free video games, free movies, like yeah, it does not get better than that. But there was a dude who worked with us named Matt or Matthew. I think he went by Matthew. And he had this friend of his, and the two of them were basically those characters, except they both spoke. But they would dress in, the sort of the black shorts, the black, long sleeve shirt and stuff, and just hang out at the mall in which the cinema was set all day. And funnily enough, the thing that I remember the most, so we, in the game arcade, like we had all the prizes to give away for, when you get the tickets and you come up and get something that, is like worth like barely anything. But we had a lot of confectionery behind there as well, and we had Milo bars. And the two of them were just absolutely addicted to Milo bars. And because I was good friends with them and stuff, and so I used to sort of bend the system and feed them Milo bars. And there was one day I even remember like I gave them an entire box of Milo bars and worked out how many tickets that would have been. And I can't remember how I used to bend the system, but I made sure the tickets were there to cover it. Yeah, so I have that strange memory of that. But anyway, yeah, but no, they were kind of like the real life, well, J and J really. Yeah, I don't know which one was more of the J, but yeah. Did you have any sort of, things like that around where you were growing up in the 90s, like, you know, people hanging out at
No,
malls and stuff?
well, we all used to hang out at the mall.
Hmm.
But I don't remember any particular people.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And you
I
didn't
don't know.
have a Milo bar addiction or anything like that?
No, I don't even remember Milo bars being a thing.
Oh my goodness. It was essentially like compressed Milo with chocolate
Yeah.
around it. Like, yeah, so it's like chocolate upon chocolate. Yeah, but no, that was yeah, it just used to always remind me of those two. It was hilarious. Another amazing, like, oh man, uh, one of my favorite people in this movie is Michael Rooker as Mr. Svenning. This dude, you know, he always just acts so over the top, but never to the point where it's silly or annoying or whatever. And I think he is just perfect in this role in this film. He's intimidating. I love, the first time you see him, he's doing karate in his living room with a towel around his waist, and then the towel drops and it's just bare ass to the camera. That's super funny, but yeah, oh God, he's just got so many memorable moments in this film. I absolutely adore him in this. What about you?
Mm. And the grossest moment with the licking chocolate off his hands from the pretzels. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, because there is the stink
Oh, that.
palm sort of subplot, if you will, where Brody is basically telling TS that yeah, if you're going to smite your enemies, then you may as well do it properly by inserting your hand around your rectal region and making it stink like that region, and then shaking hands with that person who is your supposed enemy, and yeah, making them stink like your own ass. And so, yeah, there's a like TS is obviously like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Brody's eating a bag of chocolate covered pretzels after he's demonstrated the stink bomb, of course. And yeah, so he goes up to Mr. Svenning slaps a pretzel into his hand, and there's like, oh yeah, it's all melty. There's just like gross chocolate brown stuff all over Svenning's fingers, which he's licking off, and there's the close-ups and the sound effects and everything. It just
I know.
make that
See,
scene.
that would have just I would have not liked that scene anyway, just because of
Mm,
what it was.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then that whole stink palm thing added to it, just
Mm, yeah.
yeah. But, it is comedy for later when he's trying to run the show and he's like vomiting and oh, and then that has the coolest extra who,
Mm,
normally background people are background, but when he's sitting there with the studio guys watching and throwing up, there's like
mhm.
this rock guy behind with this like black hair and everything, and he just kind of looks at him and makes a face, but like, oh,
I
this guy's
actually know the
vomiting.
guy you're talking about. I actually, yeah, the last time when we watched this, I really noticed him this time
Yeah, I
round.
know. I just keep looking at him instead of everyone else when that scene is
Same.
on.
Yeah, 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 same. Yeah, like that yeah. It's funny sometimes that happens, isn't it? Like, extras are just supposed to be like, just to fill a background and not be
Yeah, he's just a
noticeable
guy
and
sitting watching the show, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
he's
good on that
he
guy.
knows the show.
If
Yeah.
if he's listening right now, no. But that's one thing I do really love about this movie is that um, for all its holes, for all its flaws and everything, for all the kind of, immature writing or whatever, I do credit it the fact that everything comes together, like everything is there for a purpose and it all ties together at the end.
Mm.
The whole thing of Silent Bob, thinking he can use the Force. Um, and then, Willem trying to see the sailboat and Trish the Dish with her, like whole sex project and everything. Like everything comes together at the end. And so, yeah, I do respect it for that. Like, I
Do you
don't
know
think,
what I
yeah.
noticed though?
What's that?
The whole stink palm thing,
Mm,
and Brody's like, it's worth that your hand
mm.
stays like that for all the time because it's the principle of
Yeah,
getting the other
of
person.
smiting one's
But then
enemies.
he meets Stan Lee and then
Mm.
he shakes Stan Lee's hand. So I'm like, well, now he's done it to Stan Lee as well.
Did he shake his hand?
He did.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that's my main thought when that happens is like, but
Yeah.
that's his hand.
Oh,
But
I don't remember that, but I will take your word for it.
no,
But
he
yeah,
definitely does.
okay, right, right. Wow. But okay, let's get into that because that to me is one of the bigger flaws or plot holes in this movie is the fact that okay, so back in the 90s, back in the like 80s, 70s, everything, like Marvel Comics always had a thing at the end where it was like a Stan Lee editorial, and there was an illustration of Stan Lee that like we knew what the guy looked like. I mean, this is obviously predating the internet and stuff where Stan
Mm.
Lee was ubiquitous and not showing up in every single Marvel movie and all this sort of stuff, but we knew what he looked like. So I kind of think it's weird that Brody, of all people, who is supposed to be like this gigantic comic books fan, who goes to the comic shop and he can't get in there because, as it turns out, Stan Lee is doing a signing in there. And, he's like, oh my God, Stan Lee, like, the godfather of all, comic characters, or whatever. I'm paraphrasing here. So, yeah, he's Brody's standing there looking in this window and everything, and like Stan Lee comes up and starts talking to him, and I know Brody's looking at the window first, but there are moments where he sort of looks at him or whatever, and it's not till Stan says something about a Spider-Man issue that he wrote where Brody suddenly is like, "Oh my God, you're Stan Lee." It's like you didn't notice Stan
Well,
Lee
see,
talking to you.
I don't see it that way. I do think
Mm,
it's weird he didn't know that Stanley was going to be at the comic book store because
mm,
surely they would have been advertising that. But
mm.
I didn't I saw it as he was looking in the shop window and then looking at the couple when he was talking about the couple, but he didn't actually turn and look at who was speaking until he said when I did the issue, blah blah blah. So I feel like he just heard the
Ah.
voice, and it was only when he started talking about the comics that he turned and saw him and went, "Hey, it's Stanley."
Oh, okay, because I thought he looked at him before that.
Well, I don't
But
remember. remember noticing that,
Well, that's
but
okay because I didn't notice him shaking his hand, so there's there's that. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was a little bit weird, but I do like the fact that because I remember the first time I saw this film, I was kind of like, this whole sort of, this whole Stan Lee thing seems a bit forced. Like, Stanley has this whole big anecdote about the woman that got away and everything, and I thought like, that's pretty cheesy. But then I like that you find out later that TS set him up,
mm.
and everything. Like I thought,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool, that's cool. I actually like that. So
Mm.
yeah, no, that was cool. Um, yeah. Oh
Oh, and
man.
the other thing with Shannon Doherty's character, I'm really
Hmm.
bad at remembering people's names.
Renee.
Yeah, Renee and Shannon, like she's only just broken up with Brody,
Mm,
but she's met his mum and he has
mm.
tickets for the whatever and all this
Yeah.
stuff. It's
All in the
like
space
half
of
a
a few
day
hours. Like,
and they're
yeah.
having these dates and she's changed her clothes a million times. So I
Yeah,
really
well
like
I
that
like
she
that
was
yeah, that was a
wearing
big
different
in
things
joke.
every scene. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kevin Smith did that because apparently, like, he figured, that's what chicks would be like at a mall, like, constantly shopping for clothes and stuff. So, yeah, I thought that was just a fun, I'm sure there's a lot of feminists out there who would be up in arms and be like, how dare you portray us like that? But, yeah, it's fun.
Oh,
Shut up.
whatever. It's cool seeing her in different outfits. And
Yeah.
it's funny because
Hmm.
you're just like, oh, she's in a shop and she's suddenly wearing different clothes.
Oh, speaking of clothes, I like there's a scene when Brody and TS go to the dirt mall, to sort of get away from everybody, and I like there's a moment where Brody's standing there like looking through a bunch of comic books or whatever, and behind him, TS grabs a baseball cap off a merch table and sort of looks at it and like puts it on. And I love there's a Clerks logo on it. But the look on his face when he like takes the hat off and looks and is just sort of like, ew, like looks disgusted at it and puts it down. I
See,
just
I
thought,
need to watch that again because when that scene was happening, I was looking at Brody where he was telling the lady about whatever was wrong with the comics.
because they weren't boarded, which means yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, when you
Yeah,
put
I couldn't
comics in
remember what he
bags,
said,
if
but
you're
yeah.
supposed to have a cardboard insert to
Mm.
go in there to yeah.
Yeah, so I was
Um,
looking at that, so I didn't even notice
Yeah,
TS
yeah,
trying on the
yeah.
hat and
But
looking
I
at
like
it.
that. I like how that moment is just sort of, in the background. Like, yeah, it's a cool little bit. I mean, there's so many cool little moments in this. I do love the cartoonishness of when Jay and Silent Bob are being chased by LaFours and his security team, and they're,
Mm.
in a dead end alley, and Silent Bob
But
is
even
like
the running scene before they get to the alley.
I thought Jay just tears past everyone. It's so silly. So yeah, Silent Bob, like, pulls out a vibrator, throws, then pulls out an inflated sex doll. Yeah, look, why not, And then yeah, there's the whole because I mean, yeah, this movie was only like 6 years after Tim Burton's Batman, which is crazy to think, isn't it? Like, so
Mm.
yeah, there was that whole sort of, homage where he gets out the grappling gun and they recreate that whole scene like where Batman and Vicky Vale like shoot up to escape, not shoot up as in like drugs, like shoot up in the air, that's what I meant. Yeah, so like that's cool.
Yeah.
There's so many oh, and another moment I love is when Willem is looking at the trying to see the 3D picture and some oh no, when Renee comes, when yeah, she like comes over and is like out of breath, like you know, Jay and Silent Bob like need help, blah blah blah, and then she sort of stops and looks and is like, oh, a sailboat, and he turns to her and is like, Brenda, and she's like, Dick, hits him and runs off. Like, that's such a cool little in joke there. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of fun things in this film. There's no doubt about it. It is supremely rewatchable. But
Mm.
yeah, I just find the dialogue, I think, lets it down for me. I kind of feel a lot of characters talk in the same voice. Um, and
And
yeah,
there's
like I said,
not
it's
really any particularly, besides Jay and Silent Bob, who are the best,
mm,
there's not really any particularly likable people in it.
mm,
Like the two main guys are just kind of whiny and,
yeah,
annoying.
mm,
And then the girls, there's not
Mm,
really, well, Brandy's annoying too, and
to a degree, yeah.
Renee
And a bit stupid.
doesn't really get to, doesn't really do much.
Mm,
And the way she just flips on Brody, and it just
mm,
thinks it's like the way she's smiling in the crowd when she's sitting next to Shannon, this guy that she apparently thinks is so great now.
mm.
But she's smiling like Brody's doing this really cute romantic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I kind of found it ironic that, TS picks up a clerk's hat and like sneers at it and puts it away when to me that was just such a superior film. I'll have to wait till we've watched more of the Askewniverse, but as much as I love it, like yeah, Mallrats compared to a lot of the other films does rank kind of low on the overall scale for me. Um,
Yeah. It's going to be
but yeah.
interesting to think about them all together because I've seen them
Mm,
so spread out that it would be hard for me to do like a ranking. Like I can kind of
mm.
guess. I remember what my favorite was, so we'll see if it's still my favorite as we go
Hmm.
through them because yeah, a lot of them, especially some of the later ones, I haven't watched like rewatched very often.
Hmm.
So um this is actually probably the one I've seen the most now because
Right, right.
I watched it a bit in the 90s and
Hmm.
beyond every now and then. I've watched it twice for the podcast because we did it way back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I
Forgot
rewatched
to
it
address
again for
that.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk too much about it because that was like our old format. So
Yeah. That was only like a
yeah.
5 minute discussion on it, so this is a little bit more
Mm.
in depth.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah. Look, overall, yeah, it's a fine movie. Like, yeah, it's a good time.
And
But
I love
it's
the end where it's doing the little, the words on the screen of what happened to
mm,
everybody after the movie finished.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and what's his name? Willem,
Yep.
Ethan's character.
Hmm.
It comes up saying that he eventually saw the sailboat, and then he just
Mm.
looks to camera and it's like, yeah.
Well, I
He's
love the
like so
fact that
happy.
it's, the fact that he couldn't see the 3D picture, but then at the end, like he somehow managed to actually read because you watch his eyes follow along, like he actually reads the subtitle on the screen. So I kind of thought that was ironic. Like he doesn't have the ability to see the 3D picture, but he's got a freaking superpower where he can actually re break the fourth wall and read subtitles. So yeah, I thought that was actually really clever.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
I
it was
love
intentional.
yeah, I love that they did that and right at the end after they've done what everyone else is up to because it's just
Mm,
like a really nice like cute ending for his
yeah, yeah.
character that he did eventually see it after. And the
Mm.
thing I love too is he was getting so angry about not being able to see it, but then he would just switch from angry voice to just gentle normal voice to have a conversation and reply to what
Mm.
someone's saying to him.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. And there was also because you see Jane and Silent Bob walking along with an orangutan named Suzanne,
mm.
and that's kind of left hanging. But there is a comic book because Kevin Smith wrote a lot of comic books around the sort of late 90s, early 2000s, with stories. Like there was even a comic book which solely is devoted to what happened in Clerks when they go to Paulson's funeral parlor. Um, you actually get to find out like why the coffin was knocked to the ground. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a comic book that addressed like what the whole monkey thing was. So because it was, I know there's an orangutan in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but I think that was a different one. So yeah, yeah.
I just assumed it was the same one when I saw that.
It's been a while since I've seen Strike Back. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I don't remember. It's been, well, I haven't seen it for a while, I should say.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah.
don't remember details about
Hmm.
what it looked like or what its name was.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, but anyway, we will find out.
Hmm.
So yeah, anyway, I don't know about you. I think that's pretty much everything
Hmm.
I had to say about
Although
Mallrats.
talking about ranking too, like I find it hard to compare this to Clerks because they're so different. And I feel like
Mm,
it would depend what mood I was in, which one I would prefer
hmm.
because they're so different. Because
Oh
this one
God,
is
they
like
are.
a, lazy afternoon where you're just not really wanting to do anything. You can just chuck it on and have a
Mm,
good time. Whereas Clerks is a bit more like pay attention because it's very talky and
mm.
just and they have different vibes and different kind of structures.
They
So
do, but
yeah.
that being said, Clerks, the vibe of Clerks, I think appeals to me more on a personal level, because I don't know, I just sort of like that whole, just spending a day in someone's job. Like, I don't know, there's something about that
And
that appeals
also
to me.
Randall is so good. So
There's that, yeah. Yeah, this movie definitely didn't have a Randall. That was actually, yeah, when you look
mm,
at it, like, you were saying that Brody and TS are just kind of blah characters. Like, compare them to Dante and
mm,
Randall. Like, I mean, those two
mm.
characters were a lot more dynamic. Even though they had less to do, they were, I think, way better written in terms of characterization. So, yeah,
And they
so,
felt more like they had a relationship and had a
mm,
history.
yeah, yeah,
Brody and
yeah.
TS didn't really feel like they were
Mm.
good friends, sort
Hmm.
of. They
Yeah, no,
just,
I do agree.
yeah,
Like,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
we believe that they are best friends because we're told that, but yeah, there's nothing that really kind of, I guess there are a few lines here and there, like, when Brody says to TS, like, I tried to teach you how to handle comic books in the fifth grade or whatever, like
Mm.
stuff like that, but that's not, really sort of
But you
any
don't feel
character
it
depth.
like in
Yeah.
certain, like for example, Snack Shack, one of the best movies of last year by the
Hmm.
director of Dinner in America.
Hmm.
Um, the two guys in that really felt like they were just completely best friends, like
Yeah,
just
right, right.
totally believed it. And I just feel
Mm,
like sometimes you just can feel that from people that
mm,
they just feel like, I mean, same thing with Brody and Renee, like they didn't really seem like a couple. Like
mm.
it's hard for me to imagine them being a couple.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I guess it's one of those things like, yeah, the movie, like it has a lot of things wrong with it, but it's
It's
that kind
fun.
of movie. Like, switch the brain off,
Yeah.
don't think about it too hard, just, have a good time. So yeah.
And I
Cool.
still think it's a good movie, good fun.
Hmm.
I put it above average. I think I gave it, oh, I've got it right here. I gave it 3.5
You
stars.
did.
So
I gave it
it's I
three.
think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I, yeah, no, for me personally, it's a three. Like yeah,
I mean, if
uh,
you took out Jay and Silent Bob, it would like drop a lot. Like they
oh
really add
yeah,
to the movie. So
mm,
yeah.
yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, all right, cool. Well, there we go. We managed to talk about Mallrats again, technically for the third time. So, yes, I am not going to delete this episode. In fact, this episode is coming to you so fresh that I am actually going to, as soon as the file has converted after we end this chat, I am going to upload it immediately. So, yeah, it doesn't get fresher than that. It is hot off the press, as they say, or something. I don't know. So, yeah. All right. Well, what do we got coming up? Franklin, come on.
Oh,
You
I
should know
didn't
these things.
know. Well, yeah,
Nah,
but
it's
I didn't
okay.
know we were doing that for these episodes. So
Yeah. No, the
you'll
next
see next week, new episode.
next week, new episode. Well, we got Banger or Bomb coming up on the next
Ah,
one. So,
okay, yeah. Lots of Al
yeah.
Pacino talk. That's
Yes,
going to be a
where
good
we've
time.
each picked a Al Pacino movie that neither of us have seen, which we're going to discuss whether they're bangers or bombs, or as we used
Hmm.
to say, hit or crap. Um,
Well, you can say it here. I just didn't want it to be in our
I
titles
know, I'm
because
just
it might have,
messing.
you know,
Yeah,
caught up in things that
yeah,
look
yeah,
for
yeah. No, it's
words,
all
you
good.
know.
Yeah, cool. So that's coming up next, and then yeah, we got all sorts of other things coming up. So yeah, just stay tuned, stick around,
Yeah.
and have a good time. All right.
And remember, actually, never mind.
Okay.
I don't want to, I don't want,
Fair
I don't
enough.
want to get into a thing with you, so I'm just not going to say anything.
Ooh, controversy.
Mm.
And yes, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to let us know what you thought of Mallrats, there's a comment box down below where you can type words and we'll read the words and type more words back at you. Or you can find us on social media if you go to the Google machine and type in, I was about to say Jane Silent Bob, Dan and Frankie Go to Hollywood. Yeah, you'll find us Facebook, Twitter. blue sky everywhere. We're out there.
You know,
So yes,
we could kind of work as a Jay and Silent Bob in the most shallows of
I can't
ways because
imagine either
you're
of
really
us
outgoing. No,
being
you're really
mute.
outgoing and crazy. But
Mm,
I not on the podcast, obviously, but in real life, like the
mm,
difference between us, you're like super extrovert
mm.
and I am super introvert. I would be happy if I didn't have to talk
Yeah,
like most
right.
of the time.
Well, we should
So
try that sometime. One day we'll go and hang out at a mall, and yeah. How do
I
you
don't
look in
have
a
all the
backwards
gadgets
baseball cap?
and the words of wisdom though. So
Yeah. Well, the words of
hey, I've
wisdom.
almost got the right length
You
hair
do, you do.
for some,
The
so
words of wisdom in this were just a quote from Empire Strikes Back. So just
yeah.
pick a movie quote. That's all you. Surely you got some of those in your arsenal.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Maybe.
We are out of here. So, yes, thank you to everybody for watching or listening to this episode. I really hope it actually gets out there this time. And yes, until
Well.
next time, stay safe, watch lots of movies, and snoochie boochies.